This is an Insane Cast production. You're listening to Thanks for Watching the All Movies Podcast. With your cast, Beth, DJ, Jimmy, and Adrian. And now, thanks for watching.
Welcome to episode 1814 of Thanks for Watching.
Thanks for watching.
Yay. And I just want to introduce ourselves. This is DJ. Thank you. And way over there in
way over here,
Northern California
is Beth. Same place I always am.
Same place. We this is like episode 1814B because we had an A and technical problems ensued, and so now we have to re-record a beautiful show.
18014.2.
Oh, whoa. That's how it goes around here.
Sometimes.
So if all goes well, tonight is the night we're recording and also the night we're sending it out. It's Tuesday.
Amazing.
Ooh, amazing. So before we get even further ado, we will give you some contact information because I know I say it really fast. However, you can always slow it down on your podcast app. And we're on all kinds of apps.
I'm going to shut up, so you just say it.
I'm just going to say it
slowly and legibly, and I will keep my trap quiet.
Okay, I will try to be legible. Okay, here we go. Ready? Thanks for watching. If you want to give us a call at 512-PODCAST. That's 512-763-2278. But you don't have to write that down. Oh, no. All you got to do is go to our website. Our website, www.tfwmovies.com. You know that TFW stands for Thanks for Watching. So go to www.tfwmovies.com. And right there you can click on the little link that says Call the Show. It's an amazing thing. I love technology and how that works. There's another button on there that you can press. That little button is an email. Yep. You can send us an email at shoutout@tfwmovies.com. And let me spell it out for you in case you can write it down super fast. Ready? shoutout@tfwmovies.com. Now, there are a few other cool things. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Instagram. All those things at TFW Movies. You can tag us. You can just say something about us. You can hashtag us. Hashtag TFW Movies on whatever you want. I like the Instagram. That's kind of fun. So check us out there. We've got over 50 posts by now. So check us out. See what we're posting. There you go.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So that's our contact stuff. There you go. It's been fun.
Yay.
Yay.
Good job, DJ.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's tell you what we're going to talk about today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready.
Okay, we're going to talk a little about the movie Overboard.
Oh.
Yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about Tully, which is an awesome film. We're going to talk a little bit about Bad Samaritan.
Oh, yeah.
This week, we're not going to talk about challenges. I've been challenged to find a challenge, so we'll see. Yeah. What can I say?
Bear with us. We've already done this.
We have done this already.
You'd think we'd get better, but it's hard to remember what we have and haven't talked about.
Right? Oh my gosh! And I do have notes, but they're shoddy at best. So and hey, you know what? We're also editing a Patreon thing, so we're gonna launch Patreon here pretty soon. So and on Patreon you'll get to see our notes. Just so you know.
Just what everyone wants to see our shoddy show notes.
Right? Well, everybody, wants something like fun.
Special and fancy.
Yeah, and so those are kind of fancy. I mean, I enjoy looking at our show notes, especially during the show.
Oh.
It really helps me keep going and going and going.
And you've seen how well that works for him.
Yes, exactly. But we will talk a little bit about next week's openings. We will talk a little bit about future films. And then is going to be a spoiler. We are going to say what we really, really want to say about the Avengers.
And if you haven't seen it yet, you can just turn it off at the end of the credits, turn the podcast off at the end of the credits, and then you won't have to hear any of our spoilers.
Exactly.
Because there are going to be some.
There are going to be some. So before we get into that, I just wanted to say we do have somebody utilizing our text messaging. So, her name is Diana. Hi, Diana. AKA Blue. So,
hey, Blue.
Blue Diana. I can't remember how I was going to pronounce it, and it was supposed to be super funny. And, well,
you blew it.
I did. I totally blew it. Oh, jeez. I could just die a day now. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry.
We both ruined it.
I'm sorry. Now, I'm just not a fan of making fun of people's names, but I did make fun of her name.
Oh,
and let me tell you, this is somebody I totally respect and enjoy, and I really love working with this person. Anyway, and is a super fan, like is refreshing our podcast, saying, "Is it up again? Is it up again?" I love it. I love hearing that. It just it gives me a bigger ego.
A warm fuzzy.
A warm fuzzy. That's right. A warm fuzzy. So here's what she was talking about, and I'll do my best to read this without making too many errors. And I don't have my glasses on, which I don't know why I don't have it on.
For the love of cheese.
Exactly. For the love of having corrected vision. Okay, she has an issue with some of the Infinity War stuff. Here it is. And so for those of you who already seen it, you're going to understand this. And if you have not seen it, you might understand it, you might not. But here it is. If you saw in the Aliens and Alien films back in the day, you'll kind of get this. Okay, so they mean the people, producers, writers of the film. Aliens, Wars. Yes, Infinity Wars. Aliens, as in with an S at the end.
The sequel to 1979 film Alien.
Yes, thank you.
78? It was either 78 or 79. Go ahead.
Right, I thought it was 87.
No.
Was I way off? So it was an older film? I think it was out. I wasn't a child.
Alien was in 1979.
That's it. Okay, here we go.
Aliens was in shortly after that.
Okay.
1986.
Got it. Okay. Well, here's the deal. So there was a strategy against Ebony Maw, the Squidward dude. And the concept was originally in the Alien, the very original. It was not in Cameron's idea. It was not Cameron's idea. See, I can't read already.
You really can't.
No. So anyway, here's the point. James Cameron did the second film, right?
Ridley Scott did the first one.
Yeah. And so they're crediting with the Aliens film. So there's the thing. Okay, so the original movie made a big deal about blowing it the blank out into space. I know what you're trying to do there. I understand, Blue, what you're trying to get me to do.
We have spent years trying to get DJ to swear, and it only happens if you wake him up really, really early in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. So you probably will eventually hear me swear on this show, but at this point, it's still too new to me. Anyhow, that's right. I am being good. I'm like those sitcoms that start off really good and then eventually start doing that stuff.
And then get naughty.
Yeah. Anyway, so as my favorite movie, she says, in the franchise, I'm distraught. It did not get its deserved recognition. Aliens always wins the popular vote, which is fine, but in this case, I utterly object. Okay, I get it. And then she says, it's even more irritating that they paid homage to Cameron's sequel, and Cameron just previously came out criticizing the Marvel machine, hoping audiences will soon be fatigued by the superhero genre. Like he wasn't going to be churning out a bunch of Avatar movies himself. I love Cameron, but come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I see what you're saying here. To make it clear, if you're not someone who's seen the Aliens movies, the alien has like acid blood and is eating everybody on the spaceship. And in the first one, they
nice.
Yeah, she's a big jerk.
Yeah.
In the first one, they do make a big deal about blasting a hole in the hull and having the aliens sucked out.
Yes.
So they do make use of that in the Infinity War movie. And yes, I see what you're saying with the hypocrisy of Cameron and all of that. However, I'm not 100% sure that anybody was paying homage to anything except for the use of this as a pop culture reference. I'm not sure they're going like, oh, James Cameron, if they were doing that, they'd have gone for like Titanic. Because that's the real obvious one.
For sure.
I see what you're saying, and I totally agree with you in that is a false movie reference for Peter Parker to have made.
Right.
But it might also just be that, Peter Parker's a baby person who's like 12. And remember, he did call it that really old movie, Aliens.
Oh, I hated that part.
Right? I could feel
there were a lot of groans.
The movie theater cringe.
They did.
I think that it could possibly have been a writer mistake or just something they threw in there. I don't think they were meaning to.
The writer might have been a baby anybody. As well.
That is 100% true.
See.
Who knows anymore?
Right. And here's a dilemma. Don't hate me for this, but when they mentioned the Aliens film,
mm-hmm.
I didn't even get it. I was just like, all I was stuck on is really old Aliens movies, and I was just going through my brain. He just called me old one,
yeah.
and then I'm like, Aliens movies. There's a whole bunch of Aliens movies, and I know Sigourney Weaver was in one, and
the first.
Yes.
3?
Something, but I was like,
I think it's the first 3.
Right, and I totally didn't remember that scene, but I do recall like when the Maw was jetted out, and
when they used the scientific
yeah.
thing that happens when a vacuum is created to suck the Squidward out the side of the hull.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And so, but then there was the scene with the Squidward like in space.
Mm-hmm.
I remembered that too because that was definitely from the movie, I think.
Well, they do that in a lot of movies. I mean,
yeah.
If you haven't seen Star Wars: The Last Jedi yet, shame on you. And also, Princess Leia did it. So
That's right.
That's a thing. People get sucked out of spaceships all the time. They did it in Galaxy Quest. They did it in Star Wars. They did it in Star Trek. They do it. It's a thing. It's science.
It is a thing. So, but here's the thing. I'm super grateful that you're sending us texts.
Yes, thank you so much.
And I'm pretty sure we will get more texts, and that's awesome. 512 podcast.
Only to tell Beth to shut up.
Or say something about DJ's puns. That's always funny too. Like why? And I do have a rim shot in the show now, so that helps a lot.
Oh, good.
I don't know about this production of this show because this show is like it's going up raw, people. That's all I can say.
It's going up real fast.
I'm just so grateful we have an 1814 this week.
18014.2.
18014.2. And so, let's talk about what we came here for, shall we?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's talk about dun 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 movies.
I really liked it how you put the echo on there that one time.
Oh yeah,
movies.
I'm just having so much fun with that.
The little things in life.
They are little things. And here are some little things, if you want to think of first word problems as little things.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Overboard. We watched Overboard, and it was funny.
Good.
And here's my deal. Okay, if y'all remember the original Overboard, Goldie Hawn and
Kurt
Russell, thank you. Excuse me. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, that film was amazing. It was funny. And
good.
Definitely something that you wouldn't do in the Me Too generation now. So here's the cool thing. They switched everything up, okay? So now it's the guy that goes overboard, and the gal has a couple, like 3 daughters, and so they lost one of the group, right?
One of the kids, because he did have 4 sons.
He had 4 sons, and we loved that. I mean, I'll never get over that line that the little boy,
Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
She just came in like that. She.
I don't want to go back in the water barrel. Some good stuff.
Yes, great stuff. There was no water barrel in this film.
Well,
I know. Yeah, and
I'm not sure I can condone that.
Right. But it was like a totally different film. I mean, half of the film was subtitled because they were speaking in Spanish.
Cool.
Yes, this was really cool. So again, it was the guy who fell off a boat, and he was the partier, and he. I wish I could say more, and I don't want to give up a lot away, but it was a great film. A couple of things that were interesting. I'm not sure why or how that went on, but, she decided to say, this guy has amnesia, and I'm going to make him pay for the stuff he threw out and what have you. So, and she's trying to pass a test, and so instead of working 2 jobs, she gets him and he works a job, and so she doesn't have to work 2 jobs. Anyway, so that's the premise of her thing. So, but he's new into their house, and she's got 3 girls to protect, or what have you. So she's like, dude, you, quote unquote, fell off the wagon. You drank too much. That's when you washed up on shore, and you have been sober for 3 years, but now, dude, you have 30 days to not sleep with me. Because that's what you did. So, she's okay. Go ahead. Yeah, that's the lie she makes up, really, and she sends him to the 12-step program.
Oh,
but
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes, exactly. So here's another cool thing. So because he cannot sleep with her because, quote unquote, he fell off the wagon and he has 30 days.
Even though they're married.
Even though they're married. Yeah. Quote. So that was the agreement that they went on. So, and he has amnesia. He has no idea the agreement. So.
Right.
And he doesn't even hardly know who she is.
Right.
As we all know. Okay, so he's sent out to sleep in the shed. Outside. At first, he was like, "So I'll take the covers and I'll go sleep on the couch." And she's like, "No, you're not sleeping in my house.
You can go sleep in the yard with the dogs."
That's right. You're sleeping outside. And so she takes him. There's a cot in the shed all ready for him.
Wow.
Because she already planned this out.
That's the equivalent of the water barrel.
Right. It is. But then all of a sudden there's this weird thing where he's like, "But what if I have to go to the bathroom?" And she hands him a bottle.
Oh.
And says, "Here you go. You could pee in the bottle."
I see.
And in my thought process of being a guy,
right,
going, if you gotta pee, just go outside behind a tree.
Well, I will say, as a lady who has gone camping, anyone can pee out in nature. So the bottle thing is ridiculous. You just said as a man, I'm saying.
I guess so.
Anybody could do it.
You're right, and I apologize for the sexist comment, honestly.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hashtag me too, DJ.
Right?
We can pee in nature. When do we want to do it? Never. But we can if we have to.
We are perfectly capable.
That's right.
It's even easier in a kilt, just saying.
It didn't get weird at all. So let's go.
Whoops. Speaking of
1804.5.
right. Well, speaking of sexist comments, okay, so the guy is now being forced to do construction, and he's in with all these people, and they're doing construction. They're actually building a pool, like
Nice.
from the underground up. And
Nice.
and so, but when they first meet him, they're calling him lady hands.
Oh.
Because which is the weird thing. I mean, technically he was supposed to have already had this job and been working with him, and now he's being introduced to them again for the first time, yet not for the first time, and then he has delicate hands, and they call him lady hands, and I'm
Because
thinking...
he's rich and he doesn't work with his hands a lot.
Right, and I'm
Okay.
like, there are a lot of ladies that work hard, too, and they probably have hands... I have these lady hands, I guess you could say, because I don't use them for work.
Right.
Although I did fix my car today, just so you know,
Oh,
and got
I am
my hands
impressed.
dirty. Yeah.
Oh, did you wash them? Do you feel better now?
I did wash them. When you get grease on your hands, it just doesn't seem like it ever wants to come off. You know, you
That's
have to
true.
wait for your cells to regenerate for that stuff to leave. I digress.
But it was a good digression.
It was. It worked out really well for me. So anyway, I just thought that was weird, and maybe it's a cultural thing because of. It was subtitled in Spanish.
Right.
No, strike that. Back up. It was in Spanish, and it was
Had
subtitled in English.
subtitles.
Thank you. And so, but see, I don't know the culture well enough, and perhaps they should be making fun of him like that. But here's where the movie kind of changes it to a non-sexist version.
Okay.
So the daughters were able to be themselves. They were tomboyish type girls that just wanted to like do tomboy girly things.
Right.
And one of the things that Penny had to point out to me was, did you notice that? So there's a wedding in this film, and she's like, did you notice in the wedding that one of the daughters wore a suit instead of a dress?
Good for her.
And that was like, how non-sexist was that? That was pretty cool.
Yeah, be yourself.
Right? So I'm like, what the heck? You're now just
whatever
contradicting
you
everything I
want.
wanted to say, and there it
Wow.
goes. Yeah.
DJ's been knocked for a loop on that front.
Really? But great film. You cannot go into that film thinking it's the old film. I mean, they even did have the three-horned Arturo and Catalina yeah. Katarina, thank you. And then, but they had that, but the story was a little bit different in it. And oddly enough, he's the one who still told the story.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, whoa,
Interesting.
mind blown. So how does he remember that story? Or was he making it all up? I'm wondering if that story was all made up in the first movie. Huh.
Dun, dun, dun.
But it does end differently in his version as well. So it's there are some things that are similar, and then it's just really is a totally different movie, and it's well done. And the actress, I just love that actress. She's so funny.
Anna Faris?
Yeah, Anna Faris. She really knows how to do
sorry.
comedy.
Anna Faris.
Ooh, I'm sorry. Was it supposed to be Anna?
Yeah, her name's Anna Faris. I
Oh.
remember reading that or hearing that or...
Messing up names. We're on a
Sorry.
roll, let me tell you.
Oh, bananas.
All right, let's move on to Tully, shall we?
Move it!
Moving on to Tully, which was also an awesome film. I really enjoyed this film. And I think you would too.
I'm sure.
So
I'll get there.
one of the things that was interesting, and I did write that in my show notes, which I should. Remind me. No, that's the other movie we're going to talk about, but I still need to write that in the show notes. Okay, so here's the thing. One of the things that's weird is there was these, I don't know where they filmed this, but like the gas pumps that were there were those old style, like I think I see them in the 80s where it's like you flip the switch and it's going ka-clunk, 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 ka-clunk. Yes. I mean,
back before time was old.
Yes, you know, probably around those, you know, even before those old Aliens movies.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter Parker.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so
I think you're talking about something that happened after you were born. So that makes you how old? 1 million.
Oh my gosh, I'm a million. Anyway, so let's not talk more about the gas pumps there because now we don't want to. But here's the deal. This movie's about, it's called Tully, and so obviously it's about Tully, who
Someone named Tully.
Yeah, and this is a woman who is a night nanny.
Oh.
So Marlowe just gave birth to a new baby. She has a daughter and she has a son, and the son is a little special. He is he has some emotional things, like some OCD things that he can't turn off. So like like one of the scenes he's being taken to school, and the parking lot they normally go in is full. And so she has to go to a different parking lot, and he can't handle that. Like, he gets angry and is crying, is not having a good day. Aww. And it's just horrible. And so what ends up happening, in order for him to calm down, she has to go into the normal parking lot, and she just sort of has to wait it out until somebody opens up a parking spot for her.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that is rough. But I mean, he's a sweet kid. He's just,
you
know, he has his, what they called in the film, quirky. He was quirky. So, and Marlowe, the mom, hated that after a while. She's like, everybody keeps saying he's quirky when there's something else. And anyway, so Drew is the husband and Craig is her brother, and Craig offers the night nanny to pay for, because he's some like rich to-do guy, and he had a night nanny, or his wife had a night nanny, and so he thinks, oh well, this is so good and you'll get some sleep, and she's like, no, I don't want some stranger raising my kid in the middle of the night, I'll just take care of it. And well, she tries to take care of it, and I mean, it shows like scene after scene, and what do those kids use? Diapers. Here we go. Diaper after diaper.
Portable toilet.
That's
pants
right.
Toilets.
yeah.
Toilet pants.
To toilet pants. Those things, you know. So she's doing this day in, day out, day in, day out. She's like not getting any sleep, and then all of a sudden, she's at this moment where she decides it's time to get a night nanny. So
I can understand that.
Yeah, and then so Tully shows up immediately, like that night.
Nice. And
ready to go. And here's another thing on the idea of the son. His name was Jonah. They were in some like fancy to-do type of school, private school. And so the meeting that they had to go to, it was about the student, Jonah, and they're like, well, your kiddo needs some one-on-one help, like an aide. We don't have aides, and we don't provide aides, so you're going to have to pay for one.
I'll burn.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, that would never happen in California.
Nope.
No way. And I don't know where in the United States that actually does happen, except for perhaps a private school. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they follow the laws and all that fun stuff. So, but ultimately, like they end up taking Jonah to another school and making Jonah feel better. And
well, that's good.
Yeah, so that is good. So, and then Drew, the father, which blew my mind. He was like a 41-year-old gamer. And I'm like, gamers are 40 now?
Yeah.
What's going on here? Because I don't remember. I mean, I'm not much of a gamer. I mean, I do play Disney Emoji Blitz.
A lot.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty well on that, by the way.
Yeah, you're handing me my butt regularly.
I am, sorry. Well,
it's okay.
You know...
You've been playing longer. Your points are higher.
yeah, I'm at a higher level. And this is pretty much the only thing I play. I don't play the fish tank one very often. My fish die, I think.
Oh, no.
Anyway, enough about that. The movie. We're talking about a movie.
I will say that, yes, gamers are older. I'm doing air quotes. Older now because just because it's more readily available from when we were younger to be playing these games, and the technology has progressed so much in the amount of time since we were kids and we started playing video games. Why would people stop?
That's true.
I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so the 41-year-old gamer, he like falls asleep on, and he's never really met the night nanny yet because he's like upstairs gaming all the time or what have you. So he is in bed and she's like been released by Tully and says, "You go to bed. I got this. When it's time to nurse or whatever, I'll wake you up and let you know." Well, one of the nights that she lets her know that she's going to nurse, Tully goes into the bedroom and like helps get the baby nursing, and the mom's still in bed. She's kind of half sleepy or whatever. And Tully is just sort of watching this whole process with a smile on her face. And it's like, wow, you either are really creepy or you really enjoy what you're doing.
Well, I imagine you would have to really enjoy like kids and whatnot to be a night nanny.
Yeah.
I myself could never do that. I appreciate anyone who can.
Yeah.
But I like to sleep and I don't like baby things.
Right.
Like toilet pants and waking up in the middle of the night.
I hear you.
So I high five to anybody who does that. And I'm pretty sure you must enjoy your job because that's not one that you're just going to sit around and be like, well, for another 5 years.
That's right.
Just until I get my, novel done.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have a couple of things I really, really liked about the film. Tully was asked, they were trying to say, hey, what do you do during the day? What's going on? And she says, and I love this, the same thing I do every day. Try and take over the world. Yes. So, awesome. I'm sorry I spoiled that line, but it's still pretty funny. I really like it. And then there was a neat little musical playlist of Cyndi Lauper that was going. It was like a driving scene, and so
on a montage.
Yeah, so it was like driving, and then a little bit further was another one, and a little bit further was another song. So it showed that I think it must have been at least 6 or 7 songs. So she went pretty far. Yeah. And then one other thing, and if you've never seen it, it doesn't matter. It won't make any difference. But it really made me think of Drop Dead Fred. It makes me want to watch that film again. Aww. Just saying. All right.
Face.
Yes. Aww. It looks like you're wearing a big bruise.
That movie was fun.
That was a fun film. I have to. I don't even know why I don't own it. I probably should, buy it digitally or something. Because Penny has never seen it, so I'm like,
Penny,
you gotta see
so
this.
Missing out. Show Penny Drop Dead Fred.
I will. I showed her Overboard, so
I know.
All right. So next one, Bad Samaritan.
Hey yo!
Whoa, this was an intense film, and I don't know if it's playing where you're at because it's an independent film.
I don't know. I'm gonna look.
But it is excellent film. In fact, there are a few things that made me laugh. It made Penny and I both laugh, and it's a serious film. And I laugh at. I find the good in all films. So there's.
Yes, you do.
I do, and usually if there's something in there that makes me laugh or.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Cry or what have you. So it has. Let's see, who's it? David Tennant. Yeah, he's the bad guy, and he is Kale. And then there's the good guy, Robert Sheehan. His name is Sean in the film, and he's the good guy, but he's not much of a good. I mean, they really try to make him look like a good guy at the very, very beginning, and then you find out he's involved in some shady stuff, which is he is a valet at a kind of hoity-toity restaurant. And when the whole family drops the car off at the valet, they're like, ooh, everybody's inside. I got some time. I'm going to go stake the place.
Oh.
So he takes their car, and usually they're all fancy cars that already have the address in their
like
dash.
On the registration, yeah.
Yeah, and so they'll go to their house, especially if it's super close. So they'll go to the house, break into the house, and steal stuff.
Yes.
And then come back, and they have no idea what happened when they finally get home.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, it is kind of a bummer. And so it shows that he's really not good at this job either, because like one of the things he steals is like paper and I don't remember, gum or something.
Okay,
It's just,
so they're trying to make him look like a good guy.
yes.
But he's a bad guy, but he's kind of a crappy bad guy. So really, is he just a good guy caught in crappy circumstances?
That's pretty much it. He's a good guy in because his best friend is like kind of the instigator.
I see.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
Right? Exactly. So anyway, so they go back and forth. They're like, you steal this car, and then okay, you did that last one, and you really did a horrible job. So it's my turn, and so he
Quit stealing paper.
Right. So he goes into this one, and there's a dog, no alarm, and he's like escapes pretty quick. This is the best friend. And so Sean is like, hey, I get the next one, and so it turns out to be Kale's house. So he goes over to Kale's house, and he finds this woman there, all tied up like she is an animal.
Yikes.
And more specifically, a horse.
Oh.
And he discovers another fancy room that would be used to chop up said horse. Yeah.
So Kale has like fantasies of being a butcher?
Kale is he is apparently, and one of the very first scenes is him trying to correct a horse from doing bad things.
Well,
and you never actually see this horse die, but you find out this horse does not survive.
Oh no.
And the babysitter that was with him, because he was like 10 or something like that when that happened. So
he was 10 and he killed a horse?
Yeah, and then
More
apparently
pets for you, David Tennant. Damn.
Oops. Right? Kale, no more pets. Anyway, so anyway, I digress. This guy is a bad guy and tries to call the police and
good guy turned crappy bad guy stumbles on a real bad guy.
Yeah, and then wants to tell the police. And here's the catch. Sean isn't even a citizen. He has a green card.
Oh dear. So he's in trouble no matter what he does.
No matter what he does. I mean, he wants to go tell the police, and then he does, but the police don't believe him.
Oh, bummer days.
Yeah, so the police send people over, and the guy has a fancy alibi, and what? There's no girl in there. This is all that story set up. But
and he's all I'm sure, well-seeming, clean-cut dude from the outside.
Right? And one of the interesting things...
David Tennant is so good at playing that.
He is.
Where he's just like totally straight-laced looking dude, just monster on the inside.
Yeah, and he was in Jessica Jones as the villain too, right?
Yes,
he was. Kilgrave.
Yes.
Kilgrave,
and
yes.
For the Whovians in the audience, he was, of course, the 10th Doctor. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's been working for a long time in the UK. He's a Scottish actor.
Yeah.
And he's very good. I've never seen him in something that made me go, you know what, David? You probably could have done that differently. Right. He's always good.
Yeah, he seemed like he was pretty good in this. And he was good in Kilgrave, too, or no. As Kilgrave in Jessica Jones. Thank you. And here's the other thing that was weird about this film. I mean, you could tell it was kind of an independent film.
But it's playing at my theater, so it can't be that independent.
Right. Well, it is well, you'll see when you catch it. So it was in the scene where first time Sean is going into Kilgrave. Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Cale's house.
Take a breath.
Thank you. He's going into Cale's house. They pull in. He pulls into the garage. The garage door closes, and all of a sudden, in order to set the mood, they fog up the garage.
Oh.
And it's really noticeably foggy. Like it wasn't before. Now it really is, and it's not like it's exhaust fog. It's just eerie fogging, and so I think that was
inside
just the
garage.
In the garage, yeah. So I think they were just setting a mood, is what it was.
Yeah, I guess so, because that seems goofy.
Yeah, it was pretty goofy, but it was still good. It made the film pretty good. And there was the thing that made Penny and I both laugh was the phrase "probable cause," and hopefully you'll laugh at it too when you see it. But it was just absolutely. Okay. I mean, because I was like. The scene was coming up, and I was like, "What's the word for that? What is it?" I was like, "What is it that they?" It's and then they say it, probable cause, and I was like, that, yeah. So
I'll have a meme for that. I'll have to send you.
Yeah,
put on the website.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You'll really like it because it's a ridiculous pun.
Ooh, I love puns.
I know.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? I say if you only get to see one of those 3 movies. I totally recommend Bad Samaritan because it's totally different, and it's not suspenseful as in like super suspenseful, but the audience they were pretty vocal. I mean, they were like, "Oh no," when certain things happened, it was just like, "Oh, I can't believe that happened," and they're pretty vocal about going
right.
Anyway, but I totally recommend Bad Samaritan. Go see it.
I will.
I mean, if you could see all 3.
I love me some David Tennant.
Right?
Eventually, I will see everything because that is how I have such extensive pointless movie trivia knowledge. Because I do see everything eventually. It's just getting there. Right. Sometimes I can't in the 3 days between openings and podcast recording. So, but I do see everything. The all-seeing eye sees all. Hence the phrase all-seeing eye.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Right. Let's talk about... I don't think we talked about burying the X.
Nope, not yet.
Oh, no, we did. No, it was we talked a little bit about it. It wasn't very much. Okay, here it is. So it's on... Netflix. It popped up in some queue that was like, hey, you saw this, so you probably want to watch this. And so Burying the X stars Anton Yelchin.
Oh, yeah. You talked about this when I wasn't there, that's why.
Oh, okay. Did I talk about it exactly, or did I just, kind of just skim over it?
You brought it up with Abby?
Yes, and I think that was it. Well... it was good. It had a very it was very sexually themed, but it was also kind of gory because the burying the ex is really he buried his ex because she died and something happened eerily that made her come alive again. And
are we talking about the Santa Clarita Diet?
I know, right? No, not Santa Clarita Diet, though. But I can't wait to see the next season of that.
You need to watch it.
I know. We're on Jessica Jones right now, so we're working on that. Once we're done,
I'm next for Jessica Jones as soon as I'm finished with The Office, which is I'm like a season out. So
okay, you're almost there.
Maybe by next week.
There you go. Sweet.
Hey-o.
Anyway, it was a good film. It was quite enjoyable. There's a lot of nudity, but there's not a lot of cursing, which is kind of weird. Well, no, I take that back. I'm sorry. There was not a lot of nudity.
But a lot of cursing?
Not a lot of cursing either. It was just You're weird.
Just confused.
I am confused because it's been a little while since I've seen it. But in my notes it says, okay, there's only male nudity. But it's more like a mooning.
No, you did talk about that. You talked about this.
Crud, I'm talking about it again. Forget it. I'm cutting this out. No, I'm not. This is raw. I'm not cutting it out. It's all raw, let me tell you. Okay, we're going to move on. Why didn't I take that out?
because sometimes you forget.
Yes. Next week.
Okay. Next week.
Why am I saying Payback? That's not right.
Honey, I think your show notes are on the fritz.
Break-In. It's Break-In. I wrote Payback, but I don't know why. But I meant Break-In.
You were talking about a movie with Mel Gibson in it?
Oh, yeah. Not like Paycheck, which had... never
Ben
mind.
Affleck.
Ben Affleck. And oh, my gosh.
See, guys, I do see everything.
Apparently I do, too. I just don't know where I'm putting it.
In the show notes. Always in the show notes.
In the show notes. Okay. So that one, Breaking In, which is the about the mom whose father passed away.
Right, it's like reverse Panic Room.
Yeah.
Instead of her trying to get out with her kids, she's trying to get into her kids.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, see? There you go. You summed that one up pretty nicely. And it's out for Mother's Day weekend, so that's...
Oh, perfect!
That's a good Mama's Day, you know. Yeah. Hopefully Mama wins this time, you know. Then another mom movie, Life of the Party, with Melissa McCarthy. Yes. So
I would like to view that film.
Yes, yeah. Find out what's going on with her Google.
Oh, goodness.
Or how that whole thing plays out.
Man.
Anyway, yeah, so...
I like how you pick just the most random, weird thing to just reference out of the blue. And if people haven't seen the trailer for this movie, they're like, what now?
What now? What's this?
What now? But what? I don't know about that.
But can you... I mean, I know what it's like to go back to college and my... these... And... and it was, you know, not so easy. I mean, it's totally different.
It's not easy to go to the library when you're older than everybody.
That's true, exactly. Ay. Okay, future movies that I need to mention. Here we go. May 27th, Texas Chainsaw is coming out.
Again? Another one?
Apparently, yes. Yeah, so be on the lookout for some Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then Ocean's 8 on June 8th. Yeah.
That's got a lot of ladies in it.
It does. This is going to be a good one, I think.
Ladies?
You know, and I love the main actress.
Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock, yes.
Sandy B!
She's awesome. She's really good.
Too.
Yeah.
I would like to be here when I grow up.
Would you? You know, you practically are. You practically are.
It's like between her and Julie Andrews.
Yeah, you almost have the walk down, and that'll really help.
Well, I have seen Miss Congeniality about 8 million times.
See, there you go.
So.
Won't You Be My Neighbor also comes out that weekend.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
I want to go to the land of Make Believe.
Wouldn't that be fun? Well, all the people that used to work with him kind of talk about how he was and stuff. It was a pretty neat little trailer I saw there.
He was such a nice guy.
He was, and genuine, too.
Yeah, he was the real thing. He wasn't putting on happy for the kids stuff. That was just really how he was, and he didn't want people to be mean to each other or be scared or anything. He was like...
Exactly.
One of those people, you know, when people say, oh, that person's an angel. I think Mr. Rogers might have actually been one.
Right?
Not 100% sure on that, but maybe.
Yeah. Almost Saint Teresa... Mother Teresa, thank you. Status there.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, do you remember on his show when they would show how things were made and they made the crayons? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
Or the trombone was my other favorite one.
Oh, okay.
Look it up, guys. That's some classic TV.
It is. Absolutely.
They were making the trombone, I believe, and it was just making all sorts of funny noises. It was like playing jazz to go with the sound of the presses mashing the metal and stuff. It was really great.
That was pretty cool stuff. I love that film, or his show. I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently I don't remember it all the time, but it was good. It was good. Hotel Artemis is coming out on June 8th, so...
Wow, it's going to be a big weekend.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, it's a good thing all these movies are coming out. I have Movie Pass.
Always.
Always.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. So that helped out a lot.
Hotel Artemis is going to be pretty cool, I think. It's got, the Jodie Foster in.
Yes.
Has Jeff Goldblum. Has so many people. A lot of people.
Yeah.
Like big names in this movie. And it's, if you saw John Wick, like the hotel that he goes to where all the assassins go, it's kind of like that, but it's a hospital.
It is. And I don't know why they call it Hotel Artemis when it's a hospital.
Stay there.
Why didn't they call it Hospital Artemis? Well, I guess Hotel Artemis sounds better. In the test marketing we found.
They're like, well, as much as it is actually a hospital, people stay in hotels too, so... But it's like neutral ground for a bunch of assassins, I believe, is what the Hotel Artemis is.
Yeah, just like John Wick.
Yeah.
The neutral ground. Don't break the rules, or you're ousted.
No work in the hotel.
That's right. And then another Movie Pass joint venture, which I talked a little bit about last week, American Animals, but I didn't put down when it comes out. It comes out June 1st.
Oh.
So just thought you'd like to know. I thought it was last weekend, and I was looking for it, going, how come it didn't come out? And
because it didn't come out yet. Because the date was incorrect.
It was the wrong date.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. And then there was another thing, Upgrade. I know we talked a little bit about Upgrade, and I don't have down when it's coming out. I can't remember. I think it's in August or something. But one of the things that just makes Penny and I laugh every time we see this trailer is Meet the Robinsons, the movie.
June 1st.
Oh, really? June 1st?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's coming out soon. All right, then. So, Upgrade's coming out June 1st, but Meet the Robinsons makes us laugh every single time we see Upgrade the trailer.
Oh.
Yes. So, one of the things his chip spinal cord thingy dude, and I can't remember what he called him.
This is the guy who, I believe he was in an accident.
He was in an accident, yes.
And he couldn't walk or move, so they implanted this experimental chip, and now he has like a HAL type robot in his system, in his head.
Yes.
And he can do all the things he couldn't do after his accident because this chip is running his extremities.
Exactly. And so anyway, this Chippy Chips, he's going in to beat up the guy that caused the accident or what have you.
Right.
And he goes in and he's losing at first. And Chippy Chip is like, I don't think this plan was well thought out. And every time he says that, Penny and I go,
got a big head and little arms, and I don't know how well this plan was thought out.
Exactly. And so Penny and I immediately go, Master?
So good.
Oh my gosh, I love that film. Anyway, so we're gonna love Upgrade because just by that alone is gonna make it awesome.
Oh, it was a mugging.
Yeah,
it wasn't an accident.
It was
a mugging.
Okay, still something super bad, and people deserve to pay.
His wife passes away.
Oh yeah.
So they kill his wife, and he gets paralyzed.
Oh no!
What a bummer.
Bummer.
So he's going to upgrade.
Yep, exactly. All right, folks. This has been. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
And I want to thank all you, the audience, for listening.
Thank you.
And for those of you who want to hear more about the Avengers, keep listening when we're done here. But I want to thank you, definitely, because without you, we wouldn't be doing this show. That's for sure.
And if we did, you wouldn't be listening. So thank you for giving us something to do.
Yes, and thank you for having the internet or smartphones or whatever it is you use to listen to us. That's awesome. All right. I want a big thank you to Joshua Struthers. Thank you. Big Checho. King Louie.
You.
That's right. Thank you. Brandon Genovese. Thank you, Jimmy Harris. Thank you, Beth Labine. Aw. Thank you, Adrian Rondo, who used to be on the show, and then in 2.0, he's not on the show. I know. Thank you, Jackie Harris, and a really big thank you to Penny McGee. Without all of you in this list, this show would not be possible.
That's true.
I'm so grateful. And now it's time for you who don't like spoilers to turn off this podcast. Turn it
Goodbye.
off. Stop listening.
Right
It's
now.
over.
We're going to start
That's
talking
right.
about Avengers.
Here it is. If
It's
you
coming.
haven't turned it off by now,
Avengers Assemble!
Avengers Assemble!
Which
All
also
right.
makes me think of Anchorman.
Yes.
News team assemble!
Yes. Okay, now, first of all, I have to tell you that there are these memes running around the internet, and Penny told me about them, and it's really kind of funny. So, it's like, hey, here's the new Marvel action figures, and it's sand.
Oh, what a mess. That's awful. She sent me that picture, and I was somewhere I shouldn't be laughing
Oh, no.
out loud. I got that, and I was like, whoa! So I got some looks. I got some looks.
That's hilarious.
And then I sent it to all of my friends who I know who've seen the Avengers, and they're like,
okay.
"Oh, why would you do that?"
Oh, my gosh. What a roller coaster of a ride
Holy
that was.
cowbell.
Yeah. And here's the cool. I mean, cool and not cool. I do want them to bring back the first death of the whole show was
You're a Loki guy, huh?
Loki. Yeah, I mean he's mischievous.
Yeah, well, yeah, Loki's Loki. You can't
Yeah.
not like him.
So
And Hiddleston, geez, like what's not to like there?
right. So that was my first like. I can't believe that happened. What the heck is going on? And then at the end, I was kind of shocked when Thanos finally got that last.
Oh, you mean, are you
Stone.
talking about the sheer body count at the end of the movie?
The body count at the end of the film.
Yeah.
And
What
he
a-
snaps his fingers, and as soon as he snapped it, I was like, I couldn't breathe.
Oh no.
I was like, that snap means he won.
Yeah.
I was like, how could they let a villain win?
Okay. Well, the thing is, people who've read the comic books know that he wins.
Right.
But also, there's no way that they were going to build up with this being a 2-part, like a cliffhanger ending, which I didn't know it was going to be until Penny told me, because I haven't been reading because I've been working like 2 jobs and
got it.
all this stuff. So I'm glad that she told me that.
At least. That would have been nice to know.
And she didn't spoil anything for me, which was very kind of her.
You spoil it for yourself.
Nope.
No.
However, like the next day I was on Tumblr and this list came up and I'm reading it and I'm like, what is this? And it's just telling me all the people who are dead. And I'm like, what is this? Oh my God!
Oh no.
So I totally knew who was and wasn't going to die. Who wasn't, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who was and wasn't going to die.
No.
I totally thought I was trapped by my own sentence structure there. Which happens. So I actually was happy that happened when I was in the theater watching it, because I am a notorious character crier.
Yeah.
I get so attached to these characters who I've known for years and years that I will miss entire segments of film because I'm too busy crying or like blowing my nose on myself.
Yeah.
So it was better that I knew going in that it was going to be a mess. It didn't make it any easier. I still cried, but it wasn't like a glazed donut face, Beth,
Right. It was
of snot and tears.
It was just like a teeny little.
Well, some people got me more than others, obviously.
Yeah. Who got you the worst?
Well, it would be stupid to say anybody other than Peter Parker. He had the worst death.
He had the longest drawn out death.
It was like 7 seconds, DJ.
It was longer than everybody else.
He was just so sad because he's a little kid,
Yeah.
which I know he's like 16 or 17 in high school, whatever.
Right.
But compared to like Thor, who's a bazillion years old, and Loki, who's this age, and people who've been around and you've known them longer, it always seems worse when it's a kid. And then he did that, like, oh, I don't want to go, which always kills.
Oh, yeah.
There's no escape from tears when someone does that. It's so bad.
Because he knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But
But
it was still too long. I think that it was just... I'm sorry. I was just... He was the melodramatic death, like, oh, I got stabbed in the heart. Oh, and he falls this way. He goes this direction.
It was not even like Paul Rubens and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Do not. Ooh,
Yes, that's how I felt.
When you watch this movie again, you will see it was maybe 10 seconds long. It was nowhere near as long as you think it is.
So, but that ruined it for me. That totally ruined it for me, that part.
That ruined it for you?
Yes.
That was the thing.
Because it was so long. I was like, I know.
This the man who choreographed the vowel feint how many times in melodrama, and you're upset about a kid dying for 10 seconds? Shame on you, DJ.
Okay, let me back up a little bit.
Yes, clarify.
It didn't ruin it. It ruined the emotion, but didn't ruin the film. I loved the drawn out ending. I mean, it was just.
I mean, even in drawn out endings, that's not the longest we've seen. Think of Return of the King. I mean, that movie.
Right.
The ending was so long, I forgot the taste of strawberry. And not to say that I don't like that, because I do love that movie. But there were like 15 endings.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So, anyway, so
who did you think was the worst death?
Oh boy, I was pretty shocked to lose Black Panther.
Yeah,
because we just got to know him, and I was just like,
well,
no. And
I'm gonna spoiler alert.
Yes,
a bunch of people are coming back.
I know, and and here's the thing I'm worried about.
Okay,
I'll tell you what I'm worried about. I'm worried about Captain Marvel coming in and changing the timeline rather than actually saving them. Okay,
so the thing here is this, and I have had to tell this to like 12 different people I've spoken to.
All right, 13 plus 1,000 listeners.
Ooh, 1,000
at least.
Aren't you optimistic?
Totally.
So the thing is, Doctor Strange sits down, does his twitchy head thing, and views how many? Like 14 million different scenarios?
A lot.
Different ways that this could be played out. And they say, how many do we win? How many does he say, DJ?
Oh, I think he says 1.
He said 1. So then, when he trades the Time Stone to save Tony Stark, he says, this was the only way.
Which means he saw that future. That's
exactly.
The future he saw.
He is playing this game of chess.
Yes.
He knows where each piece is going to go. So people should stop hating on my boy Star-Lord because he did exactly what he was supposed to and exactly what I would have done. I mean...
Well, yeah. I mean, imagine if he didn't do that. Just what would have happened.
Well, like, how many movies have we seen him in? Have we ever seen him not take the emotional route?
That's true. He just does take that emotional route.
Because he's an emotional being.
He is. Absolutely.
So, but the thing is, I think that Captain Marvel, which is who Nick Fury was, quote, texting on his weird time pager from the 90s in the end of the movie, she does some time travel stuff. So she's the way that we're going to save people. I don't know if we're going to go back as far as Loki, but Heimdall, before he died, did send Bruce Banner exactly to Doctor Strange to warn them about Thanos coming. So Heimdall knows what's up. So I believe Doctor Strange goes back, or somebody goes back and tells Heimdall where to send Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Otherwise, I mean, he could have sent him anywhere on Earth.
And he's a time guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did the Bifrost and did all sorts of stuff.
Right.
So, I think it's going to be good. I'm upset that it's going to take a year before we can see it.
See it again? Yeah.
I mean, how am I going to survive?
Right.
Oh, I know. I'll watch other movies.
Ant-Man.
And watch old movies.
Yeah. Watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. And
I fully came home and watched like Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people did.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Who is your favorite? You like Loki. You're a Loki guy.
I am a Loki guy, but here, my favorite in this one was definitely Bruce Banner and Hulk.
You're a Hulk dude?
Yeah. And I think partly because Hulk joined the Fantastic Four every once in a while.
Okay.
Did he? And yeah, and I was an avid reader of Fantastic Four, so that's my group. I love
those are your jam.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Hulk has the only connection. In fact, She-Hulk was with them too.
Yeah.
So it was. I guess that's why I'm like I have this thing with Hulk, and the whole thing with Hulk not coming out just was awesome.
It was interesting. There's a lot of theories online that involve the Hulk not wanting to come out until he's supposed to in the timeline due to what they learn too. And I'm not sure that that's going to be a thing. He might have just been scared out of his
but I think you were right.
Pants.
No, I think he was told in the timeline not to come out. I think you're right.
Poor Bruce, though. That would have been nice for him to know.
Right? Why didn't they tell him?
I'll do it myself, you big green a-hole.
Yeah.
That would have been, to quote another movie, information that could have been useful to me yesterday.
Right. Instead, he's tromping around in a suit that kicked Hulk's butt anyway, so it was good.
So, what else do we need to talk about on that? There's so much. It was so mind-blowing.
It really was.
There was a lot going on, a lot to watch. And I still have only seen it once, but I've talked about it about 14, 15 times.
Now, you saw it at a different time. Like, we saw it with a fan event.
Oh,
and
right.
The audience just was screaming at the screen. In fact, when the credits started rolling, there were a bunch of people cursing at the screen and booing. Yeah. It was intense. Just
that's
seeing that
like Star Wars movie fan situation.
Yeah.
I went and saw it. What time did I see it? I want to say it was a Wednesday morning, but I think I was wrong.
Oh.
I don't know. All the days blur together. But there were a lot of people there still. And we're sitting there and the credits start rolling and, you know, the little sting at the end of the credits. And this chick in the back just stands up and goes, "What the F?" Except she said the F word.
The F word, yeah.
That I would say, but DJ says no, so I can't. And the last time I have had a situation like that was actually in, again, Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring, at the end of the movie, a girl stood up and was like, somebody who's read the books, please tell me what happened. Because that was a cliffhanger too.
Oh yeah. Oh.
And that was I think those were early on in the hey, we're going to make 3 movies out of everything trend.
It was the biggest one that I ever remember was the end of the second film in Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
That came out, and they said to be continued, and my jaw dropped to the floor.
Just lost it.
I was like, are you kidding me right now? And there it was, the beginning of all that crap. I'm like, no.
Well, you know, back then that was just saying that there was going to be a third one.
Yeah.
With these ones, they do like specifically like books.
Yeah.
They'll do, oh hey, I'll break it up into 5 movies.
Right.
So that like the next year at that exact time they can drop another one. I think it originally started, I want to say the first time I actively remember something like that was The Matrix.
Okay.
And then they released the third one because the second movie stopped like right in the middle, and they released the third movie like 6 months later.
Yeah, it didn't feel natural.
Then after that it was Lord of the Rings, and it was like every December like clockwork you're going to get a Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But Oh, you were talking about Gamora last time we talked about this.
Oh, yes.
And that made you sad, didn't it?
Gamora did make me sad. And
It was very sad.
And I want to say that the young Gamora,
Baby Gamora, yeah.
Baby Gamora, she had the most emotion out of all of them. And I think I talked about that in the last show, how she's just she was awesome. She did great.
She did a very good job.
And
she looked a lot like Zoe Saldana, which was pretty good.
Yeah, and you know,
bingo casting on that one.
Right, bingo casting for sure. And we kind of talked a little bit about her being in the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, because if you notice, everything is orange in that shot when Baby Gamora is talking. The Soul Stone is the orange Infinity Stone.
But here's the interesting thing. Thanos is in there now, too. You know,
they let him out.
Yeah, I suppose so. Because he can go in and out whenever he wants, right?
Well, she's just tied to the Infinity Stone. That's how he got it. You know, he sacrificed. Which, come on now. That is such a poopy move. That's right, DJ. I said poopy.
I know.
Ugh, so sad.
Yeah, but see, now somebody has to sacrifice themselves to get her out of there. Who's going to be sacrificed to get her out of there?
Well, I know who you think it's going to be. You can tell them, though. Who do you think it's going to be?
I forget who I said it was going to be.
You said Tony Stark.
I did say Tony Stark. And you're right. I think it is going to be Tony Stark. Wow. I don't know. I think it might be Nebula. It could be. She's not all there anyway.
Well, she's given up so much of herself to protect her sister.
That's true.
Why stop there?
Yeah. That's true. Anyway,
anyone who's listening to this, if you have a better idea of who might be a sacrifice to get Gamora out of the Soul Stone, or maybe with the time change like it's spring forward, fall back, with the introduction of Captain Marvel and all of the tech people are still alive, like Tony, and we think Shuri is still alive, and Bruce Banner's super super smart, and all of the really people who can make techno advances that can help with the situation are still standing. It's just my super emotional Guardians who are all gone. And one more time, I will say, don't hate on Peter Quill, because we couldn't. Number one, it was what was supposed to happen, and number two, he totally Vadered out. Yes. He lost his girl, and that really resonates with me. But then again, everything Peter Quill does resonates with me. Of all of the Marvel characters, I feel the most... I have the most in common with Star-Lord.
Aww.
So, that's just me. He's my boy. You. So.
Well...
There we go.
There we go. We got it out. We finally got it out. All right.
If you have any other questions, feel free to text us at
512-podcast. That's 512-763-2278. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
We wrapped it.